you the floor.
Okay, well, thank you. A short presentation of myself. My name is Ruud Groenendijk. Ruud is a bit hard to pronounce, so you call me Rudy, I'll listen just as well. I'm a retired expert on public administration, and this is the way I look upon things. Well, I'll tell you a bit about our village, Hilvarenbeek. It's in the south of Holland, quite close to the Belgian border. Nothing dramatic, you know, as a matter of fact, it's a rather well-to-do village. 15,000 inhabitants, more or less. A lot of commuters, of course. Tilburg, Eindhoven, Breda. Agriculture. And a bit of tourism, let's say a bit. We got 1 million visitors every year because we got one of the most famous wildlife parks in the Western Europe. We got some challenges, of course. We got 150 agricultural enterprises which are due to in a transition because of the concentration of agricultural activities. And the risk, of course, is the deterioration of the rural areas, let's say criminal activities like hash labs and things like that. And our population is growing older, and we got a logic problem. But as a matter of fact, as I may say, those are lecturers' problems. There are villages far worse off. And so how did we start? It's you know, someone this morning told us about the silo-like approach of municipalities on government, things like that. For instance, housing, education, public works, social affairs, things like that. And you know, as a citizen, you might find your way through all those formalities. And very many times you got stuck and lost in those maze of formalities, because you know what we did is giving the coordination problem to the citizen instead of saluting it ourselves. So, well, some let's say 10 to 50 people got aware of that, and they set up a more or less organization to help initiators, which might be just bottom-up people, not necessarily farmers, but they can be everywhere in a rural area, small industry, things like that, and trying to lead them the way into that maze of formalities and to handle the formalities. And it works more or less. Well, I'll shoot this one. Well, what are we trying to do? We're trying to show the way to initiators, of course, and we try to enhance the successes of their projects. And indirect, which is maybe even more important, we try to establish more social cohesion and a stronger self-confidence and self-reliance of people themselves, so that they give their own initiatives. And what do? We found some local development advisors. For instance, people with the knowledge of special planning, community building, like we just discussed, legal affairs, project management, financing, organization development, fundraising is very important for those initiators. And they're working together, and they have got a sort of expert network supporting citizens' initiatives. And those initiatives, they frequently come together to exchange knowledge, to exchange experience, to give themselves tips and tricks, and to get knowledge of formalities and resources. And one might call it a competence marketplace, because we got supply and demand together. We got it established, and it works more or less. Well, what do we do? This is very important, what's stated in here. We support collective bottom-up initiatives, so it's all not-for-profit things, and the emphasis on the preparation phases. I come to that back in a few minutes. I just got 5 minutes, so don't you worry. And what we do is we don't give any substantial support. We strengthen the vigor and the competences of the initiators to take up their own projects. So we do not take over, we assist. And we foster the communication between the initiatives to exchange experiences and mutual assistance. And of course, the triple P by Brundtland is our leading principles: profit, planet, and people, of course, and it adds to sustainability. Not sustainability, which is more static, sustainability, which requires some active engagement. Our partners are the Hamlet Cooperative, the Parishes Cooperatives, we got 6 of them, local experts, like I told you before, universities and Institute for Vocational Training. They give us material support, material expertise. And what do? We help people in the intake phases. So we tighten the formulation of the project. Is it sufficiently concrete? Is it sustainable? Is it feasible? Has it been shown before? Is it unique? And we assess the feasibility, of course. And we got a project tracking system so that people do not get lost in their ways of executing. And we have, of course, consultancy and support, acquisition, on communication, and we have, which is very important, subvention management courses. You know, of course, money is a main incentive, and it's here just as well. And how do we get funded? By the province of Brabant, which is a province we live in, incidental European funding, regional Rural Bank, and in the preparation, one of the colleagues already gathered the name, Rabobank, of course, and private funding as well. And we have been recently adopted by LEADER, and we are negotiating on the budget right now. And I must give you a warning on that. You get close to very many formalities and a lot of bureaucracy. And there is one very important point of attention. You know, Hilvarenbeek Smart Villages focus on the preparation phases. And the execution is the responsibility initiators themselves. And LEADER focus on just on that execution and realization phase. So there is one step to be taken in that. And I cannot emphasize this enough. This is really important to take a next step for LEADER. So I hope you convene it to the LEADER people. Not just the execution phases, but preparation is very, very, very important, and you need infrastructure to interpret just that. Well, we got some examples of the accomplishment. We got more than 100 successful projects. For instance, there was a church which was abandoned, and they turned it into a school. A local pub was in decline, and is now a community center. Horse riding for disabled children, nutrition education in public schools, a music center, strengthening the board. We got more than 100 successful projects, and we did not do it ourselves. People did it, and we helped them a bit. So what are the lessons to share? You know, you need some social cohesion, of course, but you can simulate that by giving examples, by enhancing awareness, by knowledge. And of course, by showing what's in it for me. This is very important, of course. And it's founded on the strength of the local community, the initial strength, not just formalities, not just civil servants or government's issues. It's from the people themselves. And very important, of course, is we must communicate what's like it. A very important PR feature, public relations feature with public community of tangible research. What we do is word spreading, of course, newsletters, free publicity, very important. We got a website, of course, and this is the one we are presenting to LEADER to foster a robust and professional support infrastructure. This is what we do. And the LEADER support, and of course we have very confident that it will come around, will enable us to give far more public communication and even stimulating more projects, even stimulating more public self-confidence. And, well, this is important. How do the governments react on that one? Some public administrators, they are all right. They are inspired, but the point of attention are the civil servants. It's, you know, they got to get used to it. It's giving responsibility, accountability, someone else to themselves, of course. And well, this is our overall aim, our overall outcome, and I'm sure it's working. It's working. A growing, broadening, and sustainable culture of yes, we can. You know, if you want more on that, we are in the database of good practices. You're always welcome to visit us. As a matter of fact, in October we got a group from Estonia visiting us, so to exchange experience, things like that. I thank you so much.
Thank you.